I don't know if you guys can hear me yet or see me yet. I just realized that I haven't even opened any of this. So if you have, I apologize. Or if you can hear me, please hold. I'm getting there. Oh, there's already 4 of you in here. Jeez, you guys. Way faster than me. Oh, I gotta mute this. Whoopah. Oh, I just realized this camera's facing the wrong way. You can see my cool dog, though. Sweet. I guess now it's working. So I need to figure out, I need to remember how to bump the chat out. Oh, pop out chat. There we go. I'm having to use a slightly, what up, Tom and Andrew? You guys, the audio okay? Everything? I'm not using my like same setup as normal, so, okay, cool. Awesome. Just fix a couple of these screens real quick. I just realized, can you see my dog in the back? Oh yeah, you can't. My dog thing, my portrait of my dog that I had made, we were trying to hang it on the wall, and at 10 out of 10, ripped the shit off the wall. It's fine. Oh, I shouldn't have sworn the first 5 minutes. Damn it. They're going to demonetize me now. What up, guys? Oh. I'm sorry if you guys, you might keep hearing Velcro. I keep having to readjust the straps on my super sweet new splint. I know that you're an adult, Andrew, but Facebook doesn't think that adults swear. So they end up demonetizing you in the first if you swear in the first 5 minutes. It's one of their like really stupid rules. So my arm's okay. Kind of sucks, but it's like I said, I got this super sweet like hard plastic splint now. So it's better than the last one that I was in. At least this one I can move my arm some, and it's not giant, and I can take showers. Well, I can get it wet, I guess, or I can take it off really to take a shower. The other one I was stuck in for 12 days and had to wrap it in saran wrap. Yeah, the pink is gangster, right? I asked him when he was making the brace. He goes, "Well, what color do you want?" And he had on this the plastic he part. He had black and like the color of a hearing aid, kind of like a weird office furniture tan. And I was just like, black. He's like, "Yeah, I figured." And then he gave me a color of like, or a choice of like 12 colors for the straps. So I was like, "Oh, I want fluorescent pink for sure." And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, do people even pick anything else?" So, yeah, it's pretty styling. I get lots of compliments on it. I also get people that are like clearly staring at it and wondering why I have fluorescent pink. Just fine. Stan, you like fluorescent pink. Let me see. Let's see. How's Hot Rod computer acting like an untuned Turbo Honda? So Brandon, I had a computer that had a bunch of really good stuff in it, but it had like an aging motherboard, and so they took all those really good parts, put them with a new motherboard, and the computer works really great for almost everything, and then occasionally it just like turns into this like shit show, and it tries to restart itself, and then it says it can't boot from the bootable drive, and it's weird. I don't really know. He's fixing it. I brought it to him today. He said that he should have it fixed within a couple days. He said he'll probably try to have it tomorrow. He knows that there's some media on there that I need to upload, and I have the files accessible for the other videos that I want to put up, but I had added a bunch of stuff to them that I kind of need to put in videos from now on, just like sponsor stuff. And those files are on that computer. So I could go in and edit it. I don't know how good this particular computer would be at editing, but we can give it a whirl. Drill 2 screws in the studs for the big picture. Yeah, it's not that simple, Tom. So that picture is actually on aluminum. It's on 090 aluminum, and it's heavy as shit. And where the studs are in this wall doesn't allow you to put the screws in somewhere reasonable on the poster or on the image, if that makes sense, and then also have it centered like where it needs to be on the wall. So, gonna figure something out. I'm probably gonna mount something on the wall and then mount that to it, because Bentley deserves to be constantly judging people and overlooking them. I'm sure Sten hasn't seen Bentley in a long time now because he moved away like a hoe, but he knows Bentley is judging eye. So Should have got one of each color. No, they had 12 colors, Andrew. I was gonna get these. They had like a silver one. It was pretty cool. I'm gonna try to keep this not like short, but shorter than normal. Oh, will you guys go hit the like button too? I want to try to bump that thing up immediately. You guys got powder coating questions? I want to try to do this for like an hour. My lady friend is gone for like an hour, so when she gets back, the dogs are gonna bark at her, and you guys are gonna hate me. Butterfly anchor. Oh, into the drywall? Yeah, I'll come up with something. I looked at a couple different options, and I'm probably just going to put, like I said, something up on the wall and then mount it to that. Oh, I just realized that everybody that has a green name means that you're a member. Oh, yeah, I guess one of the things I should go over, well, a few things. I don't know if some of you guys saw my posts. There's going to be a video up every day this week. That's all 7 days. I have, there's actually 2 videos already uploaded. I just got to make them public, I guess it is. I'm going to do the premieres. So, the Unicorn Pussy, the lost episode 65 is going to go up. I guess let me answer these questions. What website? White Pony, are you asking about the website? I don't know what your question means. Chance, you've never seen me washing any of my wheels before coating because what do you want me to wash off of them? Like, what do you mean? You mean like after blasting? I guess let me know because I don't know. I don't know what that means. I just realized we went over 2,200 subscribers, by the way, so thank you guys for that. We went over 2,000 like, I don't know, a little over a week ago, and we're already at 2,200, so that's awesome. Oh, yeah, White Pony. My webpage is actually technically there, but right now if you go to unknowncoatings.com, it only shows the front, like, I don't know what it's called, like a parking page or something. I don't remember exactly what the term is. When I pull the parking page down, it doesn't direct to the page it's supposed to, and I just have to go in and figure out why it's doing that. I know that I did it, but I don't know what I did to make it do that. So... anyway, all right, let me go over my little list of things here. So, next 7 days, there'll be 7 videos. Lost episode 65, which is, the Unicorn Pussy one. That covers literally like how I do Unicorn Pussy, kind of how it originated, where this all kind of came from. It tells how you guys can get it. It shows what it can and can't be used over a little bit. I do some stuff where I put it over chrome plating, gold plating, put it over gloss white. I get asked if that color will show up over white a lot. Teaser or spoiler alert, no, it doesn't show up basically at all. Shows the difference between putting it over matte black and gloss black, and really some other colors. And what else do I show in there? I think I actually threw some footage in there of packing up 3 different cans of the product, because that's, I guess, technically what I sell it in. Got sold. JS Coating's actually in here, bought one, and his shipped out here just Friday, I think it was. I don't remember. Kind of a pain in the ass. You can't ship them. I couldn't ship it the normal way because you can't ship cans, charged cans, that way. I also have a Super Gangster flake, actually 2 flakes coming in on Monday. One I'm real excited about. One is just, I'm going to test and make sure something won't work, basically. But I got a super cool flake coming in, a ½ pound of it, which is enough to make way too much powder if I really wanted to. How do I prevent the edges pulling after clear coat? What do you mean, Mason? So you throw a color on, and then you put clear on, and it's the clear itself is pulling the color off your edges, and like, you know, essentially creating a thin spot. Is that what's happening? Yeah. So episode 65 comes out, and then the next video that will be out is one that a bunch of people have been asking for. I see it all the time. Is about what to do with baffles in valve covers. You know, there are customers who don't want them taken out. I'm not going to say I force customers to take them out, but pretty close. So my preference is, of course, to take them out. there is no harm. It's extra work. If they don't want to do it, of course you have to charge them to do it, and some people don't want to pay. But I go over the best ways to do that, the best tools to pull them out, put them back in, do's and don'ts, kind of the generals. And then I also show the ways that I effectively block off all of the ports if I can't take them off. Like I said, I know a bunch of people have been asking about that particular issue. Then let's see, there is a two-tone video on some 20, I don't remember if they're 24s or 22s, is going to be out. That's the next one. Then a video on effectively like what you need to actually start a powder coating business. I know there's some videos kind of on the internet that cover this in kind of a roundabout way. There's some good information in those videos, but there's also a lot of information that I don't agree with, or ways that you can kind of circumvent a bunch of the issues created, or that could be created following some of those videos. So, how many times can you powder coat a part before the attractive nature gets affected? Jason, honestly, there is. Do you mean like the attractive feature in like how many layers can you coat onto something before you can't get the static charge to pull something onto it? Is that, I just want to make sure that that's actually what you're asking. Okay, so it's essentially whatever your gun can do. I know that that's like a cop-out answer, but I've seen guns that on the second coat have a hard time. I actually, this is going to be coming up in a video again. I've done this in the past. It's not the first time I've done this. I just powder coated a piece of bread, it's just like a piece of white bread, with, I think we got 5 coats on it effectively. Bread is an okay conductor, honestly. It's not quite as good as metal, obviously, but works pretty well. I think I've put as many as 6 coats on with my old Hypersmooth, the Hypersmooth 02. So, like I said, it's gun related. It's how good your ground can be. One of the things when you start grounding a part out, when you start adding layers like that, any powder that gets between, like where your hook is or however you have it mounted, if you're letting powder get to that point, is going to start causing you another grounding issue. So, Apache, how's the hand? It's healing. It's healing, bro. It's not great yet. I'm sure if you look on the community page, you can actually see the incisions got a little more aggressive than I was told that they were going to be. The doctors, I'm not going to say the doctors lied to me a bunch, but I feel like the doctors lied to me a bunch before this happened. I was doing the surgery no matter what, so it didn't really matter. Hopefully, Jason, hopefully that answered your question. If it didn't, let me know. Mason, let me know about the edge pulling thing. Like I said, if is the clear pulling the color away from the edge after you put the clear on and it starts to cure? I think that's what you're asking. Tom, what's your favorite high temp tape? I'm about done with the green, redoing valve covers from it pulling after baking. I'll post a link when we come back to this video. I don't know if I can effectively post a link in here. I don't have like a brand that I love. The amber tape, and not the amber tape. I think Columbia or somebody sells like an orange tape. It's like a kind of like a creamish orange. Not that. The stuff I'm talking about is transparent amber. Let me grab it real quick. Bentley will always judge you. My dog's badass. All right, so this is the amber tape, and I haven't seen a big enough variance in the random brands that I get on Amazon, but I literally just type in amber high temp tape, and whatever comes up, I find the most reasonable deal for whatever I need, because I buy this tape in all different sizes. But this tape is like actually amber. Hopefully that shows up well on camera. It's just like a transparent yellowish color, you know, like amber turn signals. This tape, it's got a higher temperature threshold. It's a little thinner, so you can tear it easier, which some people like better. I prefer it that way. It's much easier to cut. It's a little flimsier, so when you go to cut it, you actually have to pull it tight to do your cuts, where the green tape is rigid enough you could just trace an edge and knock it out. This tape's not like that, but it cuts way cleaner in my opinion. It sticks to everything. Actually, I just saw the recommendation in there of using a putty spreader. Yeah, if you use like, I don't know if I have any sitting right here, or like a vinyl application squeegee is what I use to press mine down. You've probably seen that in videos, I guess, now that I say that, but that's that works great. You can actually physically see the change in the color too when you, I mean, as you put it on, you'll see the areas where it's sticking really well. I haven't used green tape. I still have green tape that I've honestly had at this point for years. I haven't bought green tape in forever. I don't use it. I use a lot of the amber tape. I mean, I order amber tape not quite every week, and I just buy it on Amazon, so I don't get like any special deals or anything. I had a plug manufacturer that is not high temp masking. I get all my plugs and stuff from high temp masking. I think we actually still have a discount code, by the way. It's unknown20. It gets you 20% off. I get all my plugs and stuff from there. Another plug manufacturer contacted me, but more specifically for their tape and hook line than plugs. I don't know if they saw that I was already kind of dealing with somebody for plugs. They're sending me out a bunch of tape to try out, and I told them some of the issues that I was having. Some of the issues that I'm having with the green tape and why I don't use it anymore. And they said that they have a tape that's just like the amber tape, takes the same temperature. I let people send me whatever, and I'll test it and give you guys an honest opinion, because unless they're paying me, there's no point in like BSing the product. And even then, I probably wouldn't BS the product. Like, if it sucks, it sucks. I'm kind of bummed out that this live is set up the way that it is, because on the other computer, I had a way better setup, and there's some new sponsors on the channel now. That would be included in this, but next week. Oh, I guess I can talk to you guys briefly too about my plan. So I'm going to do on Tuesday nights is members only chat. So if you guys are a member, which all these guys that have green names in here that have been commenting are members, and I'm going to put a link in. You can actually, I think, scroll down in this video and see the link, like the way to become a member. Do that right here. You can also follow that link right there. Members only chat. I mean, there's different levels of membership from $1.99 to I don't remember what the highest one is. It's a lot. But you can go in there. We're doing a members only chat. It's going to be every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's what time I started this one, in case you guys are in a time zone that I don't know how to tell you what it is. And then I think I'm going to do another Q&A every Wednesday. I was going to do it Thursdays and Sundays, but somebody did point out that doesn't negatively affect football, and I'm not going to sit and pretend that we all don't, well, that a majority of us don't love football. So I'm going to do members chat on Tuesday, everybody chat, just a Q&A, just a general, same thing we're doing now. You guys got questions, I'll answer them as best I can. Every Wednesday at the same time, so it'll be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, no, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sorry, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And hopefully, my plan is to do on Sundays, I want to try to do something around 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I'm in the shop doing some sort of little project that you guys can be involved in. I'll probably give the opportunity for people to be like, what color should we try? Let's do something kind of wild on this. Or now that this base coat's on, like pick from these 10 top coats and, or what do you guys want to see happen on this? And at the end of those episodes, I'll probably talk about whatever the next episode is going to be or next project is going to be, so that you guys can have some say in that, so I can have stuff a little prepared. Because it's not like we're not going to sit here for hours going through the curing process multiple times. So I'll try to have, if it's a valve cover, already have a base coat on and ready to spray the next week. And then the reason I'm doing it earlier in the day is mostly just to help. I know there's a bunch of guys from overseas whose time zones obviously are drastically different than ours. It's going to help them kind of get on board a little bit in some of the Q&As. I see that a lot of guys from overseas watch the Q&As after they've uploaded, but it'd be nice to try to get some of them involved as best as I can. So try to help grow this whole community. Let me read some of these questions here since I just rambled forever. Jason, thank you. And I painted engine blocks with high temp paint. Can powder coats withstand the temp? I looked online. Yeah, Jason, the powder effectively will take over 500 degrees once it's fully cured. I mean, there's some color variances in that. White's going to burn probably 500-ish degrees. Most clears, especially like acrylic clears, are going to burn at 400 degrees. But most general powders, there's some exceptions like yellow and orange that are kind of weird about overheating. But most powders you're going to be fine. They make a bunch of powders, like Hemi orange and Chevy orange and all the classic stuff. They make in powders now that will take those temperatures just fine. So you don't have to worry about any of that. I've powder coated. I've probably only done 15 or so engine blocks in my time and never had a single issue with any of them. They're a little bit of a masking nightmare, prep nightmare, obviously. I prefer to have do some general masking to kind of plug off the engine, but we'll have it cleaned as best you can. Mask off all the parts that matter, then have it sandblasted, mask it again, and powder coat it, and then have it hot tanked one more time just to make sure that there's nothing in it. It's just a safety thing. Apache, let's see, that's the one that goes past 400 degrees. Yeah, so amber tape I think is good to like 5 something. I've actually never had an issue with it coming off. I've never had it where I overbaked it and it came off. I mean, I've overbaked it intentionally just to see what would happen. I actually had a part in there that I use for, it's a part that I use when I'm spraying chrome, because you can't get an accurate reading on the temperature gun on chrome, so I hang another part next to it. That part's been through the oven 50 times probably, and it has tape on it, and it still hasn't come off. So that tape's awesome. The one thing I will say about the orange tape, because it's thinner, or the amber tape, because it's thinner, you definitely want to try to pull it off when it's warm. Because if not, it tends to break a lot as you're pulling it off, which it's still better than the green tape in that regard, but it's just annoying. If you do it while it's warm, it's awesome. Chris, hey, thanks, man. JS, yeah. I don't know why these things are so small, JS Codian's like, I'm going to have to fix that. I don't know. It literally told me the size that they were supposed to be, but I think that was the minimum size, and it just said the size that they were supposed to be. Let's see. Mason B. Yeah, it's the Illusion series with dry lac clear. Sometimes it turns the edges white after the clear coat. It's hard edge steel part. So that white is actually where there's too much clear, and that's I'm not trying to be a hater, but that's a thing that Tiger has been notorious for with their clears. So that it's basically building up too thick, and what happens is the white that you see is little tiny air bubbles that develop because they're sitting on the edge. If you have a part that you can just throw some powder on and intentionally try to get that to happen, take a razor blade and cut like a slice of it off and look at the back side of it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I had an older gentleman tell me about that at one point, and I decided to go and actually do the same thing, like test it that way, and that's exactly what it was. So it's not edge pulling the way that you're thinking. It's actually edge building. So I don't know. Hopefully you can get that worked out. Is glass bead a good? No, glass bead's the worst thing you could possibly do for like powder coating, just powder coating in general. You can use shattered glass. Oh, sorry, replying to messages. You can do shattered glass. I don't prefer that either. It's just really dusty. But glass bead tends to, on aluminum at least, it doesn't give enough mechanical bond, which is one of the bigger issues. But on cast aluminum, the beads themselves will actually get stuck in the aluminum, and then when you heat them up, they expand because they're glass. So they'll expand, and it'll essentially look like what outgassing does on a wheel. It makes those little like pimple things. So try to avoid glass bead. there's some recommendations I think I already saw in here. Aluminum oxide is kind of like the standard. I use green diamond. I know there's that product from 10X that people really like. So I don't really know. It's really going to depend on what you have available in your area. I know that I've recommended green diamond because it's so accessible for me. I just drive up the street and get it. I know that people have had a really hard time finding it in their area. There's a link, should be in the bottom of this video, that just has all the information. If not, it's just green diamond. I think it's greendiamondpm.com. It's like performance media or something like that. They have a reference there where you can look up and see who has it near you. Brandon, you just said in, but I don't know what. Green Mountain aluminum oxide. I've noticed on your second coats you lower the KV. I've had to raise the KV a bit to get the coat to stick. Any recommendations? I'm carrying the photo. Chase, I don't have a good answer. Oh, since you guys are here, can we? I want to try to bump these thumbs up. So if you're just joining, hit that thumbs up unless you think this video sucks, and then you don't have to. But I'm trying to increase them thumbs ups. Let's see. Okay, so Chase, I don't know the right way to answer this question, and only because I finally looked through the book that came with my Hypersmooth. And in the Hypersmooth, it's telling me that the KV should be much, much higher than I've ever shot it. In fact, the only times I've ever tried to spray it that high, it's caused nothing but back ionization, like all over. And that's not like a grounding issue because I can turn down the KV and it sticks just fine. Everything's perfect. So it's not a ground issue. I know that with that extended tip that I have, they also recommend upping the KV for the second coat. And then on, I think like your unit, I think comes with that giant weird looking cone spray thing. I don't remember what it's called. It's the one for doing second coats. I want to say that one of the things said that it should be up around 100, which I've never sprayed anything at 100, and my powder sticks fine. My powder, when I'm coating, everything I do is manufacturer recommendation from the powder, not from the gun manufacturer. And I know that that's probably not fair as an answer, but the only way that I can get the powder to do what I want is following that recommendation. So I've talked to Columbia a couple times about, like, why you guys are telling me like 65 to 75 and then bumping it up on a second coat, and every manufacturer of powder says lower it, every single one. I guess if you guys are listening, what KV are you guys running at? You guys that have guns that you can tell the KV, your first coat and second coat, what KV are you running at, and what are you changing tips for the second coat? Obviously, because some guns you don't change the tip. That's the reason I'm being clear about that, in case some of you guys don't really know. But Chase, no, it's not a matter of curing it too long. The only thing that can happen if you cure too long is you don't have good adhesion on your second coat. So it's not going to stop the powder from sticking to it because it's cured too much. There's no effect there. You'll have a lower impact resistance, basically, if you overcure it. Apache, you really want to try the unicorn? Well, 3 different people. Well, actually, yeah, 3 different people bought 5 different cans of it from me. They all should be getting them like pretty early in the week. This next week, it looks like. So, Jason Rump, you're awesome. I watch all your videos. Are you thinking about doing a guide video? A guide video? How, Jason? Like, what kind of guide video? I'm down to make whatever video you guys want. I've created a list on my whiteboard, and I've kind of just been knocking that out. That's what's kind of going to be coming up through this next week. Part of that's going to be if I get my other computer back so I can upload some of the videos. I can't guarantee, but I'm going to have 7 videos up this week no matter what. So just for right now, I just don't know what they are. What up, Drew? Wish I could get green diamond. No place near me seems to sell it. Yeah, JS, I don't really know, man. Like, I know that there's some huge companies. I want to say that one of them's called like Clemtex or something like that. They stock a couple different grits of it, a couple different sizes of it. I don't know if there's a Clemtex near you, but they're not even listed as being a distributor on the website. So it might be a thing where if you call Green Diamond and be like, look, is there anybody who buys this in quantity like anywhere near this location, and see if you can find it there. One of the other options you might have is contacting local foundries, because they're one of the leading sellers of foundry sand. and you can hit up foundries and see if they happen to use it, and maybe next time they order from that order from Green Diamond directly, you can get some of your stuff thrown in with theirs, so you don't have to pay the outrageous shipping, obviously. Yeah, see, Green Mountain 65 and then 45. And see, I'm like 45, 50. I think one of the colors that says 55. There's some variables. Some of the metallics I try to spray a little higher, just a personal preference thing. But yeah, it's always lower it on second coats. But on a lot of the directions, it's telling people to raise it. And I don't know where that comes from. I know that Columbia Coatings tells you to raise it. And I've never done that. That's not true. I probably did when I first started, but it didn't work. So I just followed the manufacturer recommendations for the actual powder. I run an easy 50. I run the kV at 25 for first coat. Yeah, see, and then 15 kV after that. Yeah, it should just be lowering it. JS, you only change the milliamps? I mean, if it works, it works. I would say that there's a lot of variables. I know humidity is a huge one. That sounds dumb, but humidity is a big one with kV. UA is my problem child on first and second coats. Green Mountain, don't you have presets on that unit that you bought? You bought a Colo one, if I remember correctly. You should have some presets in there. And then Green Diamond, because you're a member, I'll send you. I made a video for like a instructional video for the guns that I'm now selling that tells you how to, when you have little issues, it like walks you through that. And it's, you know, although I designed it for people who bought my units, I could probably get it to other people and at least can help some of you guys with some of the issues, or at least kind of kick you in the right direction. And it might not fix all your problems, but maybe you'll be able to see the variances in what I'm saying to do versus what you're doing, and if it helps or not when you change. How to spray powder and recommended voltage. I mean, Jason, I don't know. I kind of do those all the time, right? I mean, I think that's what most of my videos are. Or am I missing something in your question? Tom, 70 for the first coat and then 45 to 40 on the second coat. Yeah, see, I think most people lower it despite what the directions say. The powder recommendation is always to lower it, but gun manufacturer recommendation is not. Looking to open my own shop. What is the best way to get customers in the beginning? James, honestly, the best thing you can do, like I don't know what you want to powder coat, but let's just say it's automotive related. If you're in the automotive scene at all, what I did very early on is I did some pretty wild wheels on my own car, and then just started going to car events with a sticker on, making sure people tag me in a picture, or if somebody tags me in a picture on Facebook, I would tag the business name. Everything I never really did any paid advertising. Everything I did was pretty much word of mouth. Would sponsor car shows. If you can get into some of the smaller events as a sponsor where you're not spending $500 for a booth, ones that you can maybe spend $100, it's pretty good. It's pretty good marketing to be at a car show for 5, 6, 7 hours, for $100. I mean, the amount of customers, it's not even customers that you talk to necessarily. It's all of them. It's all brand recognition. You get yourself a booth. If you don't want to buy like a big tent and have it all printed and stuff, you don't have to do that. But get a banner to mount to the front table. If you have, you can buy the flags that stand up like 12 feet in the air for, I think they're like $100 online. Little things like that just to get your brand name out there. And then another thing you can do, I didn't do this initially, but I know that it would work, is finding cars that are relevant in your scene. Like I said, this is all under the assumption that you want to do car parts. So you're going to have to scale it to whatever industry you would like to be in. Find the people with like the coolest cars and offer to do things for them for, I hesitate to say free, because I know that a lot of people maybe aren't in the position just to like throw money away. But free or super discounted. And then ask if you can use their car for some of your marketing purposes. Like the picture that I used today to announce that I was going to be doing the live is like a BRZ or FRS, one of those chassis. A longtime customer of mine, I've done multiple sets of wheels on his car. He has like a fairly well-known car, still has it to this day. And people all the time are like, oh, you powder coated? There's actually a guy who follows this channel from Spain, and he actually was in America at a car show in Las Vegas, which is not, not far from me, and saw, 3 of my customers there, I think, and was sending me pictures of them. And I was like, well, that's cool. Like, this guy's all the way in Spain and seen my work in Las Vegas. He traveled, across the world, basically, went to a car show, saw my work, and tagged me in it. And it's like little stuff like that. If you can get, on board with a car that's reasonable, it's awesome. And then aside from that, it's really just, like I said, brand recognition. Just like get your brand out there. I had like a pretty attractive logo that I put on everything. My mask logo is like fairly well known, and I would throw it on everything. And now if you're local to me and you see somebody's like, hey, where can I go to Powder Coat? It's me and one other company basically get tagged every time, and that's literally all just word of mouth shenanigans. So you could also, people really, like my customers or potential customers seem to really like the YouTube channel. I don't know if you're in a position to like start up a YouTube channel and want to make videos and do all that stuff, but I think it inspires a lot of confidence in people to be able to go look at videos of your whole process, see that you do it the right way, see the outcome of the product. I think I've won over a couple customers that were kind of back and forth about where they wanted to go just because I did that. I don't know that that's true, but it seems like it's the case. I know there's a variety between manufacturing powders, but like an average variety and what you look for. I don't, Jason. So on the gun settings, the only gun setting you guys see me adjust is KV, and I do it just on the manufacturer settings. So I start everything in like the 45 range, 45, 50, like everything, unless it's a wild color that has me doing something else. But I don't know what you mean, like when you say what I look for, let me know, because I don't know what that means. Oh, that's right, Green Mountain, you got the, who was it that just bought the, I thought somebody bought like a Colo. I could have swore that was you. I guess I'm thinking of somebody else, sorry. Oh, that's right, the HD. Oh, okay, that is you that did it. Okay, you bought the Colo, right? New Gun does it right now. You pull it apart to be powder. Oh, you're powder coating the chassis. JS, it's been super humid here recently, but when I had my old Hyper Smooth, I would spray base coats at 45 to 60 and top coats. Yeah, so everybody. So was there just one person that said that they were raising it? I know that the directions. There's actually a guy local to me told me what KV he sprays stuff at, and he was telling it like it's up in the 100 on the second coat, and I was like, dude, there's no way it should be that high. That's, you put mine on 100 and you can hear the electricity flowing with the powder as you spray it out, and it doesn't sound healthy. Green Diamond sold by Clemtex here in Houston. Yeah, see, I know that there are places that sell it, and then I think if you go online, I think Clemtex is not listed as a distributor in all the places that Clemtex exists, because I think it's all over the country. And so they have it at all these locations that maybe aren't listed on Green Diamond's actual website. So you guys might want to call them. I wish I could help more with that. Like I said, it's 5 minutes from me. It's right up the street for me just to go buy it, so I've never had to look for it. What kind of learning curve will I have going from the Kevin, I think one of the biggest things is you're going to see is it's easier. Like it does a lot of the work for you, a lot of the work that you're having to accomplish with the red line. It's going to do the work for you in regards to you're not going to have to work to get it into tight areas nearly as much. You're not going to have the issues with, I'm guessing that you probably have, where you'll have areas where powder builds and then some areas where it doesn't go nearly as well. That's pretty common on some of the lower guns. And this gun kind of learns too, which is I think one of my favorite part about these units is that they learn, I don't know the best way to explain it, they learn when there are Faraday areas and it tries to adjust the gun to correct those. You can turn that feature off if you don't want it, but it essentially tries to do the work for you as best as it can. Plus the amount of settings I think is probably what's going to kind of blow you away as far as seeing the variety of settings and what they actually do, the effects of each setting, and being able to change each thing, with different colors and spraying a metallic at 1 kV, at a certain kV and a certain milliamp, then changing it and spraying that exact same color and actually seeing what the difference is. Because there's definitely ways of creating more metallic and having more metallic on the in the overall finished product, or less based on adjustments in the gun. Um, the biggest thing is it does a lot of the work for you. That's I actually forget so much. I used a Craftsman gun for a long time when I first started out. I bought a Harbor Freight gun and it sucked, and I bought a Craftsman gun and sprayed with it for like 6 months. And that gun was not great. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should get them. I don't even know if they still sell them. I know Summit Racing sells a powder coating unit that looks exactly like the Craftsman unit, but is blue. But those guns had a tiny cup. You couldn't spray anything. I mean, you couldn't spray a wheel on a cup of powder. You'd have to reload it partway through. But that gun actually did okay and had no adjustments of any kind. It legitimately didn't even use an air compressor. It just used like a fan. It worked like a hairdryer. It had a fan in it, and you'd pull the trigger and the fan would turn on. It would blow the powder out. Bought the coolant tool apart. Right. Jason, thank you so much. You answered my biggest concerns. Hey, thanks, JS Coatings, for that super chat. I'm actually, I don't want to bum anybody out right now, but the next live that I do, I have this thing set up that anybody who does a super chat, every dollar that you do on super chat gives you one entry to win a little like prize pack for that episode. And only people that do the super chats are included in that. So, you donate $1, you get a single entry. You donate $5, you get 5 entries. And I'm going to do one of those every live. I'm probably not going to do them on the Sunday ones. I'm just going to do them on the ones where I'm sitting doing Q&A stuff. But we'll see how that goes. So, wait for the next time to bring up other questions I might have. Jason, you for sure can ask whatever questions you want, man. I'm going to be here for at least another 15 minutes. Chris, yes, I did. It's still in shrink wrap, actually. Haven't even taken it out. Since a couple days before surgery, it's been like pretty hectic around here. I'm trying to get a couple people to do some stuff for me, and I'm not implying that I can do the job of multiple people, but it's hard getting people who have never done any of these things, giving them tasks and trying to get stuff done. Everything's taking a little bit longer. So I can't move anything. I can't even unwrap the thing by myself at this point with my one arm. So I'm finishing up a van. I have a couple Honda Odysseys. I don't know how many of you guys know that, but I have a van project that's just about to wrap up and roll out, and then I'm going to start moving the equipment all into place, and then we're going to start unwrapping most of it. Or we're going to unwrap all of it. Some of it's already been unwrapped. Yeah, I'm going to do... Chris, I actually have a whole plan on how to integrate the polisher into things. I have a set of wheels that I'm going to be polishing and doing some kind of wild stuff with some unicorn pussy actually on it. It's just a matter of getting that set up. Everything's wired now. My electrician friend came and did all that stuff. Everything's ready to go. There's going to be some little stuff that has to get done. Like I got to run a hose that's easily accessible to the polisher because it requires water. And it recommends filtered water, so I have to run a whole system to do that. Shuggy Khan, my work is amazing. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, Brandon, Dad Van, that's right. The wheel polisher. So the wheel polisher is it's no different than like a small tumbler polisher, or not a tumbler polisher, like a vibratory polisher from like Harbor Freight that you might clean bolts and stuff in. It's just a very big version of that. This one takes up to a 26-inch wheel. It says it takes up to a 26-inch wheel. Measuring it, I don't really know how that's true. It seems like a 26-inch wheel would be incredibly tight. So I'd effectively say like a 24-inch wheel, you're probably safe. But it goes through 3 different media stages and polishes metal. So it polishes aluminum. You probably could do it with other stuff. My intention is just do it with aluminum. But it polishes everything to an absolute perfect mirror finish every time, and it's everywhere on the part. If you've ever had a part polished, you know that sometimes you'll get those little hazy spots that you can't get rid of. You'll repolish that one area and it makes a hazy spot next to it. This literally makes it absolutely perfect every single time. So it's gonna be awesome. The downside is it takes a ton of power and they're very loud and not cheap. So I mean, you're talking by the time everything's set up, if you can get one in the $10,000 range, like you did really well. So there's a company here in the states that I know that they had just sold off a set of used, three of them used, and it was over $100,000. Um, the one I bought from China. I don't want to put their name and stuff out there right now because if it's a piece of shit, I don't want to be blamed for it. I don't think it can be a piece of shit because they're all pretty much the same thing, just a big bucket that vibrates. But when I take a look at it and get it up and running, if everything goes well, I'll for sure obviously be passing information along. Time you know who it is, but I'll keep watching you. Oh, the Golden Man snuggle time. That's fair. That's fair, Jason. Kevin, I'm purchasing the CatScat 976. No. Let me look it up though, because maybe I do. I don't know what one I have. I just got an email and it just like went away as soon as I clicked on it. That was weird. All right. Wait, it's the CatScat. We could all look this up together. Hey, you guys, if you're new in here, if you're down to hit that like button, it definitely helps us with the YouTube shenanigans. The algorithm to get this video out in front of people. Oh, I went to YouTube and typed CatScat. What an idiot. CatScat 976. There we go. Wait, is that what it's called? That can't be right. Is it the Scat Blast 976, or is that like a different brand that uses the same number? Oh, okay. Oh, the 976. So they have the 976 DLX and the Pro. It's the same as mine. It's just a bigger version of mine. It looks like. Kevin, I don't know anything about it other than mine works really well. I'd give you the same recommendation right away though, is convert it to pot feed. I mean, there's no reason to spend this much money. Um, there's no reason to spend this much money on like a big expensive cabinet and have it be siphon feed. It's just not going to work. So, let's see. Unboxing. Could you paint my wheels? Sure. I have an unboxing video. I skipped that. Unboxing video on your channel, the 976. How can I buy American Forces, like the military? American Force like wheels? I don't know. I'm not a wheel seller. I import wheels from Japan occasionally. Daniel Weaver, what's up? Unknown. Oh hey. Just bought some 50-inch boggers and beadlocks for my rig. All right. Your local hooker, nobody cares. Hey, why is it getting wild in here? Anyway, what PSI is your pot blasting set at? It's about 55 or 60. Admittedly, I have this weird. I just need to change it. I actually bought one. It's sitting next to the blast pot, but I bought my regulator keeps being weird. It'll go honestly anywhere from down to like 50 to 65 PSI. And it just fluctuates completely on its own. And it makes this weird like buzzing. It sounds almost like a balloon that you're letting the air out of where it makes that weird squeaking sound. That's what it sounds like. So I just need to replace it. I'm sure the diaphragm in it is just like messed up. So not a big deal. JS coatings, yeah, convert everything on the bottom to 1/2 inch. That's literally doing it in 3/8. I did it for an hour. When I bought the blast setup, I also bought all the half-inch stuff, but I just wanted to see what the difference is. I blasted for like an hour and 3/8 on the 3/8 stuff, and it just kept clogging. I converted it all to half-inch, and it never clogged again. So that and making sure there's no moisture. I don't know if you're getting moisture in your line necessarily, but if you're getting moisture, that's a problem. Why are you guys talking about random shenanigans? No, I don't do paint correction. How many uses can you get out of green diamond? Nearest stream to me is 520 miles. Oh damn! Thinking of going to 10x. I'm gonna contact 10x again and just see what their deal is, because I tried to get some product for them, product from them, I should say, to test out, and then they kind of just quit replying. I'm not implying that they don't want to like get me product or whatever, but they just kind of quit replying. So I was like, oh well, can't really test it if I don't get a response from you guys. But how many can I get out of it? I'm talking. I use it for like a month. I don't know how many cycles that is, honestly. I use it for about a month at a time. I use like 100 pounds a month. I blast all day. You know what I'm saying? So, bought an Eastwood 100-pound pot. What CFM is your air compressor? So my compressor, I believe, is supposed to be 21 something CFM, 21 point something. Sorry, distracted. But I had an issue with my compressor, and I essentially ended up upgrading it. It's now, when we did the compressor repair place did a test on it, and it was making like 23 or 24. I think it was just over 24. It was like 24.1 or something like that. And that's been just fine for me. That thing shuts off while I'm blasting, so it's moving plenty of air. And that'll shut off blasting. Like, I'll be using it to powder coat while somebody else is sandblasting. Not that powder coating takes much of air. But it ends up shutting off while you're using it, which means you're making plenty of air. So I would guess anything in the 20 CFM range, you're going to be like super safe. Do you leave glass black in the oven to cool out, or you take it out and let it cool so it doesn't pick up dust? I pull most of it out, Daniel. It depends on what it is, but I would say a majority of it I take out. I tend to not leave anything just sitting in the oven to do anything, because the oven's constantly, the oven needs new stuff constantly in it. Like, I'm putting new parts in. So you want them to listen to you. Jenny has that. They'll answer quick. I don't have a recommendation for an air dryer. I have mine. A buddy of mine actually runs a Central Pneumatics, or like the Harbor Freight one, and his works like a champ. But then I have another one who got that, and it sucks. So I don't have any real recommendations. One thing that I would recommend, if you can put, and this is going to sound so ridiculous, but if you can put an oil cooler, like a transmission cooler, between the pump and the tank, you're going to stop a lot of the moisture from happening just on its own, because it's cooling that air before it gets into the tank. Yeah, Phil, if you don't have enough, CFM's the worst, man. The downside of, there's another one on here. Sorry, guys, I'm like gradually getting rid of these kids that are sitting here arguing. So, yeah, if you don't have enough air with sandblasting, your compressor never shuts off, so it means it's running the whole time, which that sucks. And then you're not going to get enough sand. I mean, ideally, if you can run a pot setup, whatever your pot recommends, as long as you're making that, you should be fine. I think the Harbor Freight pot stuff is all. I think it's like 16 CFM or something like that, if I remember, is what it recommends that you run. So. Harbor Freight has a cheap compressor that is 16.8 CFM and it works for my system. Yeah, you can get away with them. I mean, mine's expensive. Daniel Weaver, why do I have so many wheels in the shop? Because that's pretty much all I do is wheels. Pretty rare for me. Not rare for me to do anything else, but on a normal day, I do 3 or 4 sets of wheels. A lot of boring OEM stuff, just for local dealerships and stuff. But that doesn't sound ridiculous. Just sounds like you know what you're talking about. Cold air is drier. Yeah, I mean, it's just weird to look in. Like, you have to have a fan that moves air over that. If you do, like I said, if you have the transmission cooler or oil cooler, you'll definitely have to have a fan blowing air over that to make it effective, but it works incredibly well. So, my hubby has a Harbor Freight because he is cheap. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Snap-on anything is not worth the money. Snap-on's tire machines are made in the exact same place as super cheap tire machines, literally in the exact same place with the exact same parts, and they'll cost 2 and 3 times more at $10,000 when you can buy the exact same unit for $4,000 with a different brand on it. It's just not worth it. Snap-on just suckers people into paying too much for low quality stuff. I mean, look at their hand tools. Their hand tools they brag about having a lifetime warranty, but so does Harbor Freight. So it's like, well, I can go up the street and buy these hand tools right now for this price, or I can wait till my Snap-on guy comes, and then if it breaks, I still have to talk to the Snap-on guy again, or I can just go to Harbor Freight. Do you guys have any actual questions? We'll just have to disagree on that. What's up with the dog in the background? It's my dog. What do you mean? It's my dog. What do you mean? This dog right here? That's Bentley. It's a painting of my dog. Um, a local artist named Thrillard. His name is Shay. Is who painted the image of my dog. You can look up his information. Or you can look up his Facebook page. I'll put his info here in the chat. Sorry, I'm trying to go through all these like nonsense ass messages. Richard Webb. Yeah, Richard, I saw your question. You can message. Oh, I guess you have messaged me. I just haven't looked at it yet. 100 pounds a month. Yeah. Why? So nickel slag is a little bit harder. The green diamond is nickel slag. It's a little bit harder than like coal slag. Coal anything basically turns to dust the first time that you use it. Nickel slag is, like I said, much harder and can be reused numerous times. Green diamond is nickel slag. Nickel slag, oh, long lasting. Coal slag isn't. Yeah. I just answered that question and then read your question. I don't know enough about coal. I mean, it's really just weighing your options. Weighing your options against price versus how many times you're going to use it. Nice, Brandon. Let's see. Do you paint wheels or are you an enthusiast? I don't paint wheels at all. Weird. I powder coat wheels. I'm now cutting. What did I tell my barber for that haircut? I said, hey, do my hair like you did it last time. Husband is diesel mechanic for Kenworth, and they only use Snap-on. Harbor Freight is good for a DIU. Yeah, I mean, one of my really good friends is also a mechanic for Kenworth, and he won't use Snap-on tools. So it's all relative. I mean, it's whatever you want to use. Cobalt is made by Snap-on, the same company, same parts, with different colors, and Cobalt is cheaper. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. White Pony. So messages. Or the members only chat is Tuesday. The next Q&A after that is going to be Wednesday, and then on this following Sunday, I'm going to do like an in shop like spray, and it's not going to be so much of a Q&A, more just like spraying and working on random projects, and probably have some user interaction where I'll get some information from you guys, and as far as like what colors to use and maybe try out some different things. If you want Snap-on by Cobalt and you have blue Snap-on. Truck girl, can you show us your tattoos? I can show you half my tattoos. I have a full sleeve, but then I also have an arm that's covered most of the way in this. So, what do you do with the middle plastic cap on wheels? I don't do much. I honestly don't. I tend to avoid center caps with their plastic. If they're actually, like, if a customer is like, not demanding that I do them because I wouldn't tolerate that. If a customer is trying to get me to do center caps, I would end up just getting a paint made at a local place. We have NCS, which I want to say it's like National Coating Supply, but I can't remember for sure. On NCS, they'll take a little scanner thing and scan a color and find, make a color or make a can of paint in like an aerosol version that you can paint and do the center caps with. It's not going to necessarily be an absolutely perfect match every time, especially if there's metallics in it, but it's going to be pretty close. So I tend to do that. Beyond that, admittedly, I try to avoid it as much as possible. I usually try to get the customer to go do that just because I don't want to do it. Let's see. The Carlin heater, I believe. I don't know anything about that, JC's. I don't know nothing about it. Unknown coding is Eddie. I'm just trying to get like you. I'm your biggest fan. Well, that's probably not true, but nice for you to say. Seahawks look great today. Yeah, I only watched the highlights. I didn't watch the game. My day has been kind of weird, but they won, and they beat Atlanta. That's good enough for me. I definitely messaged my friend that is a Falcons fan and made sure that he saw the score, which he had, of course. My cute hubby has powder-coated upper and lower control arms, and it looks great. Well, that's awesome. Betty's tarot reading. All right, guys. Well, it's been like an hour. And then there's a bunch of these like random kids that are clearly making new accounts in here posting shenanigans, which is fine by me because the more viewers in here, the better. But it's not of much use, obviously, to me. So that being said, you guys got any other questions? Let me know. Do you know anyone who does a good job with curb rash repair? I mean, I repair curb rash. I don't know. Yeah, I saw there was a fly like flying around here randomly. We'll fight later, probably. I'm actually leaving right after this. So that's probably not true, but. What is my favorite truck? I definitely don't have a favorite truck. I'm not like super into trucks, weirdly enough. Andrew, wait, why are you saying or us? Did I miss something? 3F. That, yeah, probably. Car enthusiast, unknowncoatings@gmail.com. Unknown Coatings on Facebook. Unknown Coatings pretty much everywhere if you want to look it up. You trying to get me to spread them cheeks? That's cool. You can look on my XTube if you want to see that. It's like YouTube but for adults. And JS, that sounds good, man. All right, I'm gonna call it good. I was only trying to have this be like an hour, and it's been about an hour, so good enough for me. Anybody who sees this, I'm gonna close this out. So if I'm missing your question, just shoot me a message pretty much anywhere. Yeah, Andrew, that'll be much better. Best part is, it's only one button to get rid of these people now. Oh yeah, if you're still seeing this video, make sure you hit the like button, but I'm out.